Well, it's I predict about maybe 30% of them ain't gonna make a change. Nah, maybe 40%. I don't know. Maybe 40. They all clapped, said they gonna make a change. I guess you'll have to wait and see. They gonna bow to love thy neighbor, respect equal opportunity, and for the most part, love Jesus Christ. We shall see. We shall see. Ah, come on in the upper room. Come on in the upper room. I don't know what channel I'm on, Ted. Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you know? Come on in. Tell me your mood. What's your mood for today? What's your mood, guys? Come on in. Come on in. I want to see those smiley profile pics. Come on in. Cause I ain't got long. Dre M321. What's going on? Look like you the first one that shows me your smiley face, your smiley profile. What's going on? What's your mood today, Dre? What's your mood? I guess I'll have my troll day today. That's what I'll do. You said hi. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. What's going on? What's going on? Say hi. Oh, my glasses are foggy. My camera is foggy. Everything's foggy, foggy, foggy. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, I had a work day today, y'all. Oh, buff my hair up. I forgot to be pretty, honey. Buff my hair up. What's going on? 8 people in the chat. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm going off camera. That's what I'll do. Hit the like button. I probably should have checked my battery before I clicked on here. But I ain't going to be on here long. Shout out to everybody, the 9 people that are watching that dark screen. Watching a dark screen. Mm, down to 4. Can I get a 3? Can I get a 2? Can I get a 1? Can I get a 2? Can I get a 2? Oh, I got 3 likes. Yay. I got 3 for 3. That's what's up. Well, I was actually coming on to see if you guys watch the Charlie Kirk um, going away celebration today. I watched some of it, pieces here and there, because I was working, so I was in and out of it, in and out of it. I didn't see no black speakers. I was wondering if he had any black, like really close friends, but I didn't come across one at all. But I guess that's just by choice, whatever. In Utah, I've never been to Utah. It's one state I never. I swear I think my mom knows when I click on this because I swear I think my mom knows when I click on this because she always calls every freaking time. And that do not disturb, that just does not work. It just still rings through, dog. But how's everybody doing out there? Anyway, I just wanted to come on and say happy Sunday to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well and feeling blessed. Of course, um, I've been watching quite a bit of this situation going on. Thanks for the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I watched quite a bit of it, right? Somehow my timeline filled up with a whole bunch of hit, you guys. You know, brings you back, to having these particular discussions out here about racism and people being prejudiced and things of sort, right? And it just has not never been my forte. Never. I am a individual. I stand just only with one, and that is God. Follow Jesus Christ. That's just have been me since I turned grown. I'm talking like 18, 19, and 20. It's just been me. I guess because of throughout my growth from middle school to high school, you've listened to so many different people, ethnics of people, gender, and everybody had their own synopsis, deliverance to how things should be, right? Joe Mama. Oh God, how you spelt that is hilarious. You spelt that as Joe Mama. That's hilarious. Joemomma. Joe Mama. Thanks though for being that number one, grabbing that number one top fan though. That's crazy. Joe Mama. You know what? I am going to always and forever remember how you just spell that to make it sound like what it's supposed to sound like. Joe Mama. Joe Mama. That's crazy. But I've been watching it. And you know who I think is the most innocent and courageous, bravest people of all? People like me, people that I can see that is kind of like me. I get that voice in your opinion, in your ideology on life may be important to establish some concrete ground out here about how laws should be made. I get all of that. However, I am honestly glad that we kind of have those that do stand away from it and allow those people who feel that they have been anointed to do so to go and do so. Make changes and be a voice for other people that don't have a voice, or people that just like me don't care one way or the other. Not like that though. I don't care enough to put myself into a situation to have particular debates that ends up being a never ending debate. It's a never ending story. I remember when I first went to high school, because that's really when they get deep into history. Y'all hear Teddy? Right? You start going to your. Yeah, okay, whatever. Right, that's when you really kind of get all into it because now your brain is big enough to consume all of this information, and that's when you start to establish your path on what you desire to conquer in life, to be, represent, do throughout leadership and things like that. You make those decisions right around your high school era. And I went to a lot of my history classes, not all of them, but a lot of them, right? Respectfully, a lot of it was just hurtful, to know that all of this stuff happened. I don't know any of my generation down to my grandparents. Now, I haven't heard any stories pertaining to my great grandparents or their great, or my great. I don't know those stories. So maybe that's why there has not been much inflicted pain on my related generations, right? I don't hear much talk about whether if I've had a great uncle or something that endured, this these things to them pertaining to slavery or something like that. So I would, but listen to what others have been through and what they have done, to their generation and things of sort. I mean, it's devastating, right? Definitely devastating, but yeah, I used to ask, like, how long do we hold on to the rooms? I don't know. Hi, Miss Brown. Hi, sweetheart. How long do we hold on to them? Well, when I came across graduating and learning all about this history and the wars and things of such, I kind of made that decision. Like, I can't hold on to it. Seems like it would be, a reason that I would allow myself to hold me back or keep me filled with anger. So I make that decision. Like, no, um, I'm gonna fast forward my life, but still I think about a lot of that history. Spent a few hours today watching this celebration of homegoing for this Charlie Kirk. And I go back and I listen to a lot of how they describe what this whole DEI is. At first, it was kind of confusing a little bit to me because I was listening to different sides, different angles of it from different races of people. But then I had to sit down and was like, well, okay, let me kind of analyze this also from this Charlie Kirk's point of view because with one breath, he would make the statement about the DEI equivalent to standards. And those standards, he would equate that to the standards of black people. And I was sitting here like, okay, why is all of his examples or his explaining and reasoning is just pointing out black people? So as I kept hearing that, now I was understanding the anger that was building up in the black culture that was out here speaking and having a little opposing against that. I didn't understand that. Was the one about how he would feel if there was a black pilot flying the American Airlines. And then his contestant, well, his challenger that came up to express his refuteness on that based on statistics, I understood him too. I didn't think that it should have caused any anger, first of all, in that debatable argument. But what I got out of it is like, okay, first and foremost, how can you look at a person, regardless of what the stats are saying, as far as DEI opening up the doors to lower their standards and the qualifications for a particular person to obtain a specific position? It's weird to me, right? So, not to take it to the biblical scripture of on Charlie Kirk theory, right, about the pilot, but at first I asked myself, well, wouldn't that be judgmental? Would that be judgmental? And of course, most people would say, no, well, that was just his opinion. But to establish an opinion, you have to be able to foresee the person, place, thing, place, right? You have to. I almost got out of line with you, Shane Jonas, but I think that the block button would be better because once again, you're doing exactly how probably someone like you just sat up there in that Coliseum clapping your hands and all that love stuff or whatever. Like you're just one of those examples. You one of those examples. Now, Shan, don't get me wrong, right? Because I'm a believer and I love to love. But what just played out on this internet will not give you an excuse. It will give you a good goddamn reason why it's people like you that has to keep getting a checking on your ass. It's people like you. You're part of that problem. All of a sudden, what did you say that I am ghetto? And you don't know a goddamn gone thing about me. But you have to express your opinion right about something else. You don't know how bad I really want to get in your ass right now and debunk all of this goddamn love shit that probably, people like you. Oh, Casey, I was going to, I was actually going to speak on you tonight, and it was going to be in a good way, but yeah, forget Shannon. He ain't whoever that guy was, Shan or whatever. He ain't even worth it. But since you here, I just wanted to express something, if I may, to you. And I get that you like to make your point about certain things in your advocacy for R. Kelly. But baby, giving Kaleidoscope all of that energy like that, honey, it's not, I'm just saying, it's just not even worth it anymore. Hi, Jason. You know why? Because her conspiracy theories, her book of researching and trying to put this together and solve this about that, if by now these people can't understand how other people swim up the stream in a different stroke, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I've rised above that now. You know, as much information that has put together by that girl and the points that she tries to make and things like that, it's not going anywhere because she points it with bitter and just fire. Like she's just, it's like she's waiting on someone to, say something that does not fit her narrative, or it's may come off against her, right? She's just ready. Um, but I've been watching you too, and yeah, it's like just do your thing, Casey. You stay away from most of the arguments since what 2 months or so ago, but they wait on that. And I know, Casey, that it can irk a nerve. I get it, but it also takes someone, especially like you, Casey. You know those scriptures, and you believe in this and you believe in that, to be detoured from your things that you're putting out. I think that it should just stay right there. Now, someone like me, Casey, someone like me, right? I veer off track with that. I would battle with something like that. But it's almost like if this is your character, and it's definitely what you've been doing about and for the way you choose to advocate and put your things up for R. Kelly, it's like you gotta stay that character. You know what I mean? Me, just a little bit different. I'm just a little bit different breed than you, but you know, and you already know that. You're subjected to getting the name calls, and you're stupid and you're ignorant and you're this and you're that. And it's crazy. We can't love everybody. I'm sorry. I get the Bible says love thy neighbor. I get it. But does that really mean that you are subjecting yourself straight to hell by saying that I just can't? I just can't. Do I love you spiritually and can wish you well? Yeah. But do I love you enough to sit at the same table with you with the no. 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 Mm-mm. But I think with you and her, it's gonna start looking like what's been going on out here, and that is, who be the winner of making their points expressible to the audience about R. Kelly. So, I don't. I mean, I get it, but then I don't get it. I think that when it's time for reality to set in, um, and if you choose to ignore it, with Kaleidoscope, okay, fine. You can keep throwing all of these women out there as much as you want. You can keep fighting over whether if the marriage certificate is real or not. You can keep fighting about whether if R. Kelly has ineffective attorneys or not. But the reality to this whole columbra of R. Kelly situation is if you are not that person financially or even in a high political seat or whatever, it's hard to turn, very difficult to turn something like this around. And according to some of your scriptures that you put up, there has to be some things that has to be turned over to God. I'm saying is, I feel that it's not hard for you, you are being, when you're relating everything of how this is a spiritual warfare, things like that. I get that and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, and you use your spiritual, you use your fight in a spiritual way. Okay, that's fine. But these people would turn this into a whole competition thing, about who's got all the information. Well, do your research and do this, do this. Let me say this about this whole Bo Brentley thing, though, Casey, right? When the motion came out, I do not have it on hand about the time frames, right? And it had that September date on it. It had, I think, the first date on there of the hearing and everything, right? I get it that people, fell into R. Kelly's been failed again. He's been failed again. There's nobody to trust and blah 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 because the deadline was approaching. But then after I read this Bo Brentley's motion of response 2 days later, right? 3 days later, and yes, it wasn't according to the time frame that was dated on the paperwork, September 17th or so, right? And he didn't come that day. Um, the, just reading his response in the motion satisfied me enough. It clearly said, and I'm not going verbatim about it, is that with him telling the judge, no, this case should not be dismissed on any grounds because of the argument that the other side made. They wanted R. Kelly's hearing on the BOP and this whole Tasha K lawsuit dismissed on the grounds because he wasn't responding timely. He wasn't being transparent. He wasn't the okay. And Bo Brentley said it basically in the paper. Okay, fine. I didn't feel like that I had to. I didn't want to. I feel like that's a person standing up to somebody who's not going to be controlled by some nonsense on the non-premises or on-premises or dis-premises or whichever one that was not related and reliable based on what the lawsuit was about. So I commend him for that. I really do. I think that he took control. I'm like, okay, wow. Basically, let me put y'all in y'all place right now. I'm representing this man, and yes, I have not did this and I have not did that. And not only that, it was the fact that I think that she put something out, Kaleidoscope, speaking on the fact that, oh, well, okay, he had the blood clots. I even heard people say that, he could have sent somebody down there. I heard people say he could have a wheelchair or whatever. Well, would you have felt that same way if that was R. Kelly? Where is the humanity in us? Where's the humanity at? So now Bo Brinley, I guess, and I don't, gets attacked or whatever because made it down there. He could have rolled down there in a wheelchair, or he could have sent somebody else to be on time. To be on time because we want him on time, or to be on time because unknowing to them that this is who R. Kelly hired. Maybe that this was their strategy to do so like this. Or maybe he was actually really sick and just could not make it down there, and he expressed that. Hey, I had blood clots. What's wrong with now, especially with this being R. Kelly's attorney, right? To throw some, because you in here, Casey, I ain't gonna curse, to throw some smelly stuff up against the wall and make it stick so that they can continue on with this case. What was wrong with that? I'm like, okay, so what I'm saying is, are these people for R. Kelly or not? Stop putting so much disparity and not enough hope into and faith into somebody. At some point you kind of have to. But at the end of the day, the question is, did Mr. Kelly hire this attorney or not? And if he did so, I don't know who and why that. Oh, well, he probably doesn't even know. Mr. Kelly probably don't even know. He don't even know. Well, if he doesn't even know, then guess what? R. Kelly can get himself up in that, file it through whatever. It's all paperwork. So that he could have this hearing in front of this judge with him not receiving transparency within his attorneys. He can do that. You say he put out publicly asking for a pardon. Brinley has been on the platform letting the public know that his client has been attacked in prison and is held in it. So he has been doing. He's been so far transparent. He put that out there, but when you start hearing doubtfulness coming from someone who's saying that you're advocating for R. Kelly, right? And you put this doubt out here, talking about Kaleidoscope, right? And you put this doubt out here, then now here you are putting into the people's head that because Bo Brinley didn't respond when you wanted him to, and because there was a deadline on there, then now let's put some bad taste and some bad rhythm out here on that attorney. And it's like, that's the shit excuse me, Casey, that's the stuff that has to stop. Just because the attorney is not acknowledging things on how R. Kelly super or I mean that's for him. See, one thing that should halt people in speaking is when you have not actually heard from the other side. We can't, or people shouldn't continue to speak in disparity the way that Kaleidoscope does, or anybody else for that sake of it, because you have not heard from R. Kelly. That's the crazy thing about me. And the way that, she spoke on Bo Brinley and some others, I was like, well, wow. Well, really? You know, I heard somebody, screaming, mad, upset, and what the hell, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, in order for you to establish this level of anger because an attorney didn't meet September 17th day, I need to know if you heard from R. Kelly on it. But you know what they say, Casey? Well, he probably don't even know. You mean to tell me that R. Kelly came out here speaking on how he felt about his information being stolen and put out here in the internet with a blogger, right? And a BOP officer. He gave the people the reason of why his ex girlfriend or whatever she was turned on him. This information, right? And so you mean to tell me that R. Kelly is not going to be smart enough to sit up there to be asking what's going on with my case? Where's the paperwork at? And if he's not getting, you mean to tell me that he's not going to know how to go and file something else to a judge to make sure he can get a hearing to be so that his attorney can address to the judge why these things are going on? All of this stuff sounds ludicrous to me. I'm not sure who you're talking about. You say never did a call for action doing certified mail to black organizations or to yeah. I think that by now it's very understanding and clear as to people who chooses to believe this sort of premeditated setup thing against R. Kelly. And I do understand that there's still a particular fight to be made on that. But my question is, who are you? Not you, Casey. I'm just generalizing. Who are you fighting? Who are you fighting? Because it sure in the hell isn't the government, because they ain't listening. They ain't hearing you, especially from a screen that you continue to sit on. And again, not you, Casey, I'm generalizing, right? You're just sitting there on a screen and just putting up thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures in a storyline behind it. And yeah, I guess hoping that someone higher up will pick it up and decide to get themselves involved in it, But it's crazy. But Casey, it also sells, right? R. Kelly name, like you said, also promotes. It helps people. We learned that by his ex-wife, right? She chose to keep the name. And the fact that R. Kelly has to sit there now with his hands tied, because of limited resources or limited funds or limited, help from honest people that can shut it down. And that's just, it's hard. That's a hard thing to do. But is that something that we truly focus on? I listened to a person screaming, oh, and they're stealing this, and all of these people are making this money, and his name is on this and his name is on that. I'm sorry, that is not why R. Kelly is sitting in jail. It's not because of that. So it's like those arguments, or if that's the reason you're going to find something to be angry about, then you're on the wrong damn choo-choo train. Right now, I truly believe that at this point, R. Kelly can give a rat's ass about who's selling this and who's making the money. He wants his freedom. And the freedom is to fight to what the heck the charges were that locked, that allow, or that the decision made from this juror found him guilty. And like that's the topics. That's it. And like that's all to me. But when you want to start putting brown sugar in out there on your oatmeal to sweeten it up a little bit more or whatever, I'm like, okay, that's not gonna get it. That's not gonna get it. Now I agree with that one, guys. How? How would she know that the attorney fumbling the bag? How do like you literally have to talk to R. Kelly on that? Those assumptions, that's just ludicrous to me. It's crazy to even make that assumption. And that's just because of what didn't happen according to how they wanted to see it happen. Yes, it was a September 17th date on there. And guess what? He responded. And the only thing that can happen now behind that is what? Waiting to see if the judge is going to accept this and say, well, granted, and still keep the actual date for the hearing to start. Maybe you better he should, because that's the date that is set for this hearing to start. Unless, as an attorney, he can come back and say, he has to move the date further back or out because of another situation occurred. But it's just crazy. But yeah, she did. I don't. Hey, I don't know how she does it, but she does it. Uh, Facts. Yeah. He is an attorney. And you're right. R. Kelly is probably not his only client. Jennifer Bonjean expressed that as well. She goes and she was getting there as much as she can and following up, and she had her team, and they all had a different accord that they were doing for R. Kelly, but she still had other clients. I I have my own opinion about that one though, right there though, Casey. Because you pay closely attention. She does keep him up in that darn collage. Oh, she keeps him up in there. Mm-hmm. So, whether that's a whole different lane or that's a shits and giggles kind of thing that she's doing, that's kind of what how I look at it. I'm like, really? I don't know, but I know that had it been me, it would be questionable, very questionable, because I would definitely want to know in clarity, what are you saying? Because your title says this, and then you're saying that these are the people that perpetrated and did X, Y, and Z or whatever to R. Kelly, but then you got my name, my picture up here. But he never questions it. He never questions it. And at this point, I think that it'll be a little bit too late to question it, because they became sister and brethren. You don't want to tear that apart now, do they? Crazy is it's how you may look at it, but I think that it is more so on demand for the views, because in all honesty, like I said, I don't think that she's ever going to leave wherever she's at and pressing a button to actually really go and advocate. See, she's saying that she doesn't have to. This is her advocacy right here by pushing a button and giving you her introductory to chocolate covered peanut marshmallows and shit. I don't know. Do you think that? I mean, I don't even think, or maybe her stuff isn't really selling that much, because she's still on YouTube trying to sell it, and I don't see no opening ribbon cutting of a store or anything, opening up to become an actual, chef or something in a store, maybe. And I get it. Some people probably just want to cook out of their kitchen and stuff. So I don't know what's going on, Butterfly Nest. What's going on? Well, if she is, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. What I see, in my opinion, from my standpoint, what I watch is just another opportunist. That's all I see. That's all I see. I mean, I get it doing the research, but I mean, she's literally devoted almost what 80% of her entire day, pulling clips from an Instagram or Twitter or and then she puts them together, and all of a sudden you're involved, or you said this or you said that. I had to laugh quite a bit at the other day, right, when who was it that she put, Gerald Griggs, right? I had to laugh my ass off at that one, because I was like, okay, you got Gerald Griggs' attention now. You've been barking up his tree, because sending shots, poking the bear. Okay, now you got him. And then she starts off with her message with the LOL. LOL? What the hell is that? Are you serious? Like, you wanted his damn attention. You got it. And that's all you say is LOL. She didn't bring the smoke like that. She was just LOL. I'm like, oh, fine. Oh, I got to turn the camera off for a second, guys.
No, you don't. That's all
No, yeah. I'm ready to throw this on the plate for you if you want it.
right.
I said I'm getting ready to put this stuff on here for you. You want some toast?
I want whatever you make. I'm gonna go over here and turn the camera
I said, okay.
on. I'll just come back in a minute.
You say she playing both teams? Oh Lord. Well, that can burn you. That can definitely burn you. It's not good to be straddling. Not at all. That's not a good thing, because you can definitely, catch fire on that. Like I say, you just gotta pick and choose. Oh, who you want to follow. People will develop a cult in their own little special way. I'm just trying to figure out, how the hell does one person have, like, she done more work than the damn attorneys. All of them put together. So you said she had a lot of firsthand information about R. Kelly and the marriage certificate. And who was behind all of that? Facts. You've been a fan since the late 80s and 90s. Prima Donna is not even in her. You say she wasn't even that old. Yeah. I don't know. Like I say, I get advocating for somebody. I really, really do. But I also get, okay, you do it a little too much. You overkilling it. You overkilling it right now. And like you say though, Casey, you don't never hear nothing pertaining to a prayer or anything of sort for R. Kelly from that. It's just all about, this person said this. Look what that person said. Okay, well, this person is involved. This person is involved. This person is involved. That's crazy, But a lot of it, I believe, comes from hearsay. Like, this is what like I say, putting together her own speculations based on what's copied and pasted from these different platforms and their own messages and stuff. And this is what I think is going on. However, out of the 3,558 people that she's on this path of exposing, half of them you're not going to see anything pertaining to an arrest or even if R. Kelly gets a chance to have this retrial, right, and he's going back in, right, you ain't gonna even see half of them damn people nowhere. Mm-mm. No. So his focus was trying to win a lawsuit, right? And if that's one of his main focus, because he actually came out and he spoke on that. You so not you, Casey. I'm just generalizing. Kaleidoscope so hard up on that because he feels that this will also help um, his freedom, right? Okay, so then get off your butt and go and track down or see what you can do about the BOP officer. See if you can get her to admit to doing what she did, or when did they fire her, or where did she go, or did go get that. Now you're working with something. Tasha K. They already have her admittance on what she said she did. She said, I got some people in Chicago. Shout out to my Chicagoans for pulling X, Y, and Z and all that stuff. Does she shoot her shot over there at Tasha K? Absolutely. Do you think that Tasha K will give her any, and I mean any freaking attention on it? No. Someone who has already done the damage that they choose to do, in their mindset, mission is accomplished. There's no way possible unless, I guess, maybe Tasha K get drunk or something and decide to actually now have this sit down or whatever with Kaleidoscope and get to pouring out her heart on some things. Um, all of the arguments or the pushing narratives out here to keep the exposure on Tasha K is actually, or has worked, I guess I should say that, because R. Kelly is going to be having a hearing on that. He's gonna be having a hearing on that. So she's in my life. Who's in my life? She's not in my life. She don't pay me no man, girl. Mm-mm. She does not pay me any man. So ain't no need of her being over here ain't nothing over here. Nothing. Mm-mm. I'm just wondering how she do it. What is the method? How does she do it? How in the hell do you devote 80% of, and that's exactly why, oh, I don't care. But Casey, that's exactly why that business of hers, them chocolate ho-ho cakes, is not going to elevate. It's gonna stay stag right there. She got 80% of her time and trying to push it behind R. Kelly, with delivering her message about R. Kelly and her exposure of the government or all of these constituents that were involved or whatever. She got 80% of her time in that. She'll never get that business off rock solid. It should be reversed up. But I get it. She care more about R. Kelly than she does becoming this entrepreneur that she's advertising behind R. Kelly's name on her shorts. Well, this is R. Kelly, but I want to just show you guys about mine. And don't forget, get your patty cakes, baby. Like I say, I love Mr. R. Kelly, but there comes a time where you have to do yourself for a minute, because my dreams and admirations are just like R. Kelly's, becoming, comfortably in wealth. Well, I can't get that wealth if I'm doing 80, 90%, all day of R. Kelly. I got to give 80, 90% to my dream, and then I got you. R. Kelly, you know, on the time that's preserved for him. But baby, when I see this girl, like God, it's 3 in the morning. This shit worse than catfish. It's 11 in the morning. How do I know? Because when I get up to start my day in the morning, it's like right there. So I'm scrolling like, damn, this was an hour ago. This was 6 hours ago. This was 7. When the fuck did she say? And guess what R. Kelly doing? Guess what he doing, Casey? Getting some sleep. You want to bet he sleep? I bet you he getting some sleep. I bet you that. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he's thankful and grateful and blessed for all of that everybody does. But at the same time, because he's a human in his head, he probably didn't ask himself the same question. That damn girl up all day. Listen, baby. So, honey, I'm just saying. That shit's crazy to me. But, let's say, do you. I'll be over here, do you. But your dream of them ho-ho cakes is going to be stacked, you know. How she say, though, Casey? How she said, Casey, how she said the gag is, but that's going to be the damn gag. I don't want to hear, hey, Cleo love, hey, boo-boo. I don't want to hear, 5 years from now that ain't no patty cakes or nothing established other than the food truck. Like in an actual business and the income ain't rose up. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Mm-mm. And you can look at it like this too, though, Casey, right? Had she been doing it and her business has been multiplied, she's up to here, then, girl, you could have been sending her more than $10 a weekend to R. Kelly. Like, what the fuck? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But you want to bet that ain't gonna happen? You want to bet that ain't gonna happen either? She ain't gonna sit over there and make $50,000 off of them patty cakes and send R. Kelly 41,000. That ain't gonna happen. No, no, and no. Not by a long shot. You say she called you gorilla? Sticks and stones, honey. That's you know how they call people the low budget, dumb, stupid, or whatever. Well, those are those type of people that has to depend on elevating themselves. They gotta do the name call. They gotta do the name call. It's gonna happen. I've done it before too. I get mad. I be like, oh, you know what? F you did. But I try to bag away from all of that stuff now. Like, man, when I go back and look at all of this stuff, I just shake my head. I ask myself, R. Kelly have a chance with the supporters that we see right here, because R. Kelly got supporters everywhere, every freaking where. You just don't see them, but they're everywhere, right? I highly doubt that there isn't. But I ask myself, this over here, he didn't stand a chance with what he had to work with. Not over here. Yeah, babe. Yeah, come on. Come on. You say it's never about the outer appearance, it's what's in your heart. That's facts. Yeah. But I just so happened to see, did I put the toast in there? You want toast with this?
You asked me that already. Yeah, I'm gonna never do. Yes, toast.
Why? Because I'm eating it.
You don't eat as much meat as you do.
Yeah. It's but I started seeing, you guys, shut up, Cleo. Cleo said you got a babe. Tell her no, that ain't my babe. I don't know him. If you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight. Who sing that one? I forgot. Who sings If You Think You're
Bobby
Lonely?
Womack.
Bobby Womack.
Womack.
Womack. Womay.
M-A-C-K.
M-A-C-K. Casey, you say you got a man of your own, not community man. Yeah, you see Cleo, Miss Brown. You get Cleo. Like I am a woman, Cleo. What? I'm not supposed to have a man. Come on now. Come on. Don't be trying to play me. Woman, man. Yeah, I got too old to be lifting shit and cutting grass and stuff now, so I had to get a man, girl. Oh, I had to retire from that. My fingernails and stuff stopped growing. I started doing too much yard stuff. I was like, that's a wrap.
That's all the lima beans, huh?
Yeah, I told you that was
I
just
thought you made me a sandwich.
no.
Everything gonna be cold.
Huh?
Everything gonna be cold.
Cold.
Yeah, I thought you been making me a sandwich. Then what the hell was it? I said you're not making a sandwich. So what the hell was the toast for?
Just to eat with some bread.
Okay,
That's all.
I get you. What's the butter for?
The butter the toast. It tastes better with the meat if you butter the toast. What? Oh, she says, I didn't say that. You said he ain't your bae. He ain't my bae. What's up, Phoenix? You say, okay, you gotta go. Yeah, good chatting with you. I'm just saying, like I said, I just been following y'all, little spats between each other. And I was like, oh boy, Casey, really? You really want to do that, honey? I'm like, I got bored really with it. I was like, nah, man, go ahead on. You spend your 80 hours a week, doing R. Kelly, but I'm like, nah. It's like, I don't know how she do it, but she spends a lot of hours. Oh, she talking about the real man? You a real man? He get crazy when I ask him crazy stuff, y'all. Are you a real man?
Do you mean a man like pay the bills and cut the grass and fix the bathroom and
are you a real man?
Drive you out of town?
Okay, that you ain't got to put all of those up under there, but are you a real man?
I mean, is that what you mean by a real man? Am I home every day? Do I be gone overnight?
Hold on. Cleo, he wants to know, what do you mean by a real man? He says, define real man. Did you get a fork in there?
No.
What she say? Did she define it yet? Cleo, what's a real man? Hey, K baby. How your babies doing over there, K baby? Oh, she's okay, but what's a real man? He wants to know what.
Tell her what I said.
What is a real man? She said the real man for you.
What?
The real man for you. Like I had a fake man. That's good, girl. I'll follow you, K baby. I'll follow your stories with your babies. So,
Huh?
They do of none. 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 That's funny though. She say the real man. How was your day today, K baby? I want to know that y'all watched the celebration of this Charlie Kirk. Put a yes or no. And did it mean anything? What did y'all, were you feeling anything? What you get out of it? Yeah. I went to work today. I went in on my off day. So yesterday I was a couch potato. A straight up couch potato. But I needed it, girl. Like, ugh. Want the body tell you? Your body be like, go sit down. I go sit down. Oh, you said no, nothing for you, Miss Brown. You know what? I watched it, but I actually didn't, get in. I don't get in my feelings or nothing like that because I know that life, you just got to keep it moving no matter what. Okay, she says, so the man that does the things for you, manly things that you usually do for yourself. He said he answered that. He said that he does the things that a man should do that women, usually do for themselves. So he's, what was your response?
I said, when she says a real man, you mean a man that pays the bills, the man that takes care and caters to his wife or significant other, the man that's going to do the manly things, cut the grass and take care of the to-do list. A man that's not out all night and every day fraternizing and come home every night and all that stuff. Is that what you term as a real man? Well, yeah, you have a real man.
Okay, so he said that should answer you, Cleo. He says no, that's a real man. He's a real man. Yeah. The only thing that he don't do probably is that's walk the dog. We let the dog out back.
Only thing I don't do what?
Walk the dog. To-do list.
I do let the dog out. You don't walk the dog.
I don't walk him either. I don't walk him because I don't want him eating and getting all into stuff. So he said I don't walk the. Y'all heard him. He said that I do not walk the dog because I'm lazy. Miss Brown, you've been here forever. Haven't you seen me walk Teddy?
I saw you walk him too.
Plenty of times.
I saw you walk him too, but not like I see that other lady every day. All these other people you walk Teddy, goddamn, just be stuck in the house. I'd be feeling sorry for him.
Oh, you know what, Miss Brown? Maybe that's kind of how I'm feeling. And do you know what else seems so off to me today? It's supposed to have been a celebration, a home going, right? But they kept talking. Each spokesperson that came up, they kept talking. They keep merging politics in it, and I was like, you can still hear them pointing fingers in their messages. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. Where I was like, really? Y'all finna do this right now? I don't know. And Miss Brown responds to you and says, no, sir. Pap love that damn dog. So, but I agree with you. I think that, overall, yeah, there was a little bit of overboarding of praising, and because they praised him on something based on what he preached about, and that was being a man, taking care of man stuff, building wealth for his family. He got married. And I was like, well, isn't that just the natural, or so to speak, they say that one of the natural things to do, right, in your time of living. And I'm like, well, everybody should get a praise for that. The majority of the population out here, they all try marriage, but sometimes marriage just doesn't work. Do we have now? Hold on, Miss Brown, the statistics have it that we do have a whole we it is a lot of single women. It's a whole lot of single women.
Why?
That's what we're trying to find out.
Because
But
there's more
if you
women. Because there's more women than men. Men die faster than women. Men die in the army. A lot of more men go to jail.
that still doesn't give a valid reason of why we have so
Because
many
it's so many.
non-married.
There's so many women. The ratio. It's like 10 women to every one man. That's why you got so many. The ratio. The men, the wars kill men. Men die faster than women. More men in jail.
Okay, well, the argument out here wouldn't be your argument. It would not be your stance. It would be when you hear from the women's point of view, it would be because men don't know how to treat the women. Look, if you're looking at all these shows or what they even look, women have gotten married. Why they don't stay married? Why do not couples stay married?
You got to look at the whole thing. And that's another thing with men. The men have so much to choose from. It's too easy. It's very easy for a man to be to be persuaded or to step off because it's so the availability of it is so great. You got to have a man with the right kind of heart. All those things, all those factors.
Wait. So you're saying that most of the men
Not most.
some.
A lot.
Okay, so now you took it up.
You break it down.
A lot of these men ends in getting a divorce because of their appetite
Let me
is.
say it again. Let me explain it this way. Why there are so many women without men or good men is a combination of several reasons. One reason is homosexuality is running rampant. The next reason is it's more women in the world than women because the wars, the prison, men die earlier than women. The third reason is because of the ratio divide between men and women, men are more susceptible not to tie down with a woman because he can. Why take a slice of the cake when he can have the whole fucking cake? You got people to think like that. It's so easy for a man to go from a woman to another woman. But it's hard for all women. It's not that easy for a woman, especially a woman with virtues, to go from a man to another man. You know, all those factors together is the reason why. Would you agree? What you know?
No, I agree. I can see that.
All those factors, homosexuality.
Okay, so let's
men die
reverse
faster
up.
than women.
Let's reverse up and put it from a woman standpoint. Why do women choose to divorce men so quickly? Would the reason still be the same of what you're saying?
All of it respond to the same thing because men are unfaithful, because the men is not what they was looking for in the men, and they didn't know it until you got in. Because it takes a long time to get to really know a person. So they figured it out as they saw it later on in the relationship after marriage, and then some people just grow apart. You just fall out of love.
How do you grow out of love?
How do you fall out of love?
Yeah, how do you?
I don't know how you fall out of love.
Finance.
It could be a multitude of reasons. You just, I don't, for whatever your
Senseless arguments.
it's no one thing.
No, it's not
There's
no one thing. Of course.
That explains how to fall out of love. Some people just fall out of love. Some people just have a change of heart 5, 10, 3, 4, 8, 10 years down the road. It's a multitude of reasons. Most women are more into relationships, monogamous relationships, than men. The men will jump in there and jump in there with
So do you believe that
men
this
will
is?
jump in there with fake intentions because they love you and they want to be with you. But he already know he finna do the he gonna keep on doing the damn thing. So all of those things, all of those factors.
What you say, Ms. Brown? You say you agree? Cleo says he forgot a lot of them pretend to be what we want. No, he just said
I
that.
just said that.
Yeah, we want, and they change their minds and then they leave. So yeah, he said that.
Yep.
So how do you get past, or how do you indulge or participate into this belief that Charlie Kirk has? He says that the best thing that can resolve the issue here in America is men should be out here marrying these women and having children and getting them a wife.
Charlie Kirk is a
Be
extreme.
careful, babe.
Charlie Kirk is an extreme racist.
Be careful with your
Charlie
words.
Kirk is an extreme racist.
He gonna come knocking on
Charlie
our door.
Kirk is an extreme racist,
Uh-huh.
and the conversation, all the extra conversation from black people, he shouldn't even get that much consideration.
I said that. I think that if he had been kind of ignored and let them have their own,
Let the
debate.
white people say what they gonna say.
Yeah, and don't give
And
him.
here and there, you have a guy like Roland Martin come in and set the record straight. Yeah,
Mhm.
2, 3 people say something, then that's it.
Be
Don't-
done with it.
Don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They know what kind it is. You saying something ain't gonna change nothing other than showing how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But what's them saying, right on, fucking niggas, that's right. Charlie fucking Kirk, Charlie fucking Kirk.
Wait, go. Wait, they gonna knock. They gonna.
No, couldn't have been about cutting out broke ass.
I'm just saying, cause they been acting real crazy out here. Like you can't say nothing, against or about it or anything. I was like, wait, whoa, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. I don't know. Well, mm-mm. So I'm like just asking you guys, like, what do y'all think about that, right? So are you guys, I don't know, y'all better run off and get married tomorrow, save the world, have a bunch of babies now. I don't know. So, and they do a lot, they did a lot of uplifting um on his organization, right? Say he started in Illinois in a little small garage, came up with this idea, put a team together, right? For the most part, I believe that a lot of people start that way. To create their idea, develop a passion for it. But then now, how do they move it, right? How do they move it out here in the economy to start wealth behind it? One guy made an important part on the diversified portfolio of it, right? So his point he was trying to make that, okay, we all would like to get to where you have established yourself, but the percentage of people that of color that walks into a bank to get a loan or help from someone else to endorse them saying with high power and is full of wealth, just don't be interested. You get declined for whatever reason, right? And so the guy was arguing with him about, well, if it's to diversify out here and have everything on based on equality, the standards equal around the board. This was this color guy's argument, right? That why has that not happened? But I heard Charlie Kirk deflect from it by saying that here's your reason why. He'll deflect from it. Well, if we had more men getting married, having kids, and I was sitting here like, well, what the hell does that have to do with the question that the guy asked you? Because he never answered that. How do you get around the fact that regardless of the standards that he's talking about, right, they're not shared equally to give the color people the opportunities that they need to get to the message, the level of the message that he is speaking.
It's unfair to pit Charlie Kirk against the average black man or the average person, because for Charlie Kirk, his opinion, his stances, his ability to debate, and his ability to say what white America feels, and the way white America, to say it in a certain way, to make it passable and to be accepted, that was a catalyst into whatever he wanted, into what he was doing in the first place. He had so many arms around him. He had so much financial support behind him. It wasn't hard for him to
exactly.
Climb. So
he delivers the message as if you, an average Joe, can just jump out there and do it.
That's part of his. That's part of what they like about it. And he can say he's sitting there calling us some monkey ass niggas from the jungle and we ain't shit, and getting away with it by the way he said it. And then he can debate the facts and all that. That's just the way they feel. That's part of his appeal. That's how he appeals to them so much.
Yeah. Capture them,
and then he gets in, then he got in there and he starts to aligning himself with politicians. Organization that I'm involved in. I rub elbows with people, and you think that don't come back?
Exactly. Yeah. But that doesn't work for everybody.
That's why I said you can't compare him to, a lot of other people or to black people. It's unfair.
I don't know. Cleo, you say you did the marriage thing, huh? 14 years and now separated. Who left who, Cleo? Did you choose to separate, or did he choose to separate? Who made that first move? You did. And what was you not you then what was it that made you make that choice? What part in your relationship? I'm trying not to ask her. Like, what was it? What was it? Was it cheating? Was it financial? Was it he wanted more kids and you didn't? Like, what was it? You say you left and you never went back. Okay. They're hard. They're definitely hard, but I do believe in working at it. Argue butts off, but just keep working at it and just keep working at it. That's just me. I'd rather work at it, especially, when you've just been knowing a person for so long. It's hard to start over, especially once you get a certain age. Like, you don't want to. Like, you don't want to share my business and life with nobody else. I'm just like, I'm over that,
You better start acting like
You better shut up. Well, we be separated. You see what I mean? Like, we do this, not every day, but every now and then, here and there, we'll do this here, right? But sometimes it brings some understanding, and sometimes it's okay, go to your corner and I go to my corner, but do I think that we ever established the point where a suitcase is, oh, hold on.
Yep.
Why? Don't go. You ain't got to get all crazy with it. Look at K baby laughing. Okay, don't be laughing. This is perfectly normal, okay?
A lot of times you ain't fair. You be saying stuff and it don't be like that.
So you think
when I break it down to explain it to you, you get whole hum about it. You get on my damn nerves. Don't say nothing and just forget about it, because it really ain't that important.
Okay.
The main thing, let me finish what I'm saying.
Hurry up.
The main thing that I tell myself is to
Mhm.
hell with all that. I love you and you love me.
Okay.
And just keep it moving.
All right. So
All the little don't pay that much attention to it.
I don't
Get
have a
going.
wine cooler.
Go ahead on.
I don't know.
Okay, you trying to say something? You quiet cool.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna ask K-Baby. K-Baby, where's you said you do have one? I was gonna ask K-Baby a question. She says it is normal. So wait, let me read Cleo's comment. Cleo says, to be honest, you cheated. You cheated. Hold on, let me finish. And he wasted 14 years telling me he wanted to wait 10 years to get our own place and saying the stuff. He told me he was just playing. So I've been over here going through his words and trying to see was he playing when he started saying this and is that. But hey, hold on, Cleo, hold on. You said you cheated. That's what you said. And he wasted 14 years. Now, I don't understand that. If you cheated, why are you saying that? So, are you saying that because of the 14 years that was wasted based on the things that he was telling you and holding you up and thinking that you guys are going to do this and you're going to do that, you threw in the towel and said, 2 buckets in the bucket, I'm finna go cheat. Now I got to ask you, was the grass greener on the other side? I had to ask you. See, CK baby, he in here eating up my cake. And see, this why, listen, like,
This is dessert.
what?
This is dessert. So you tell me number cake, tell all the other stuff I did for you though.
You say, yeah, I remember 1 year marriage. He said he didn't think our marriage would last that long. Well, 14 years it's a mile. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. At least now you can sit back and be like, well, don't nobody know you that I mean, he knows you, But it just sucks that shit happens and I get it. It's just trying to understand whether or not is this the way? Is this, well, it wouldn't be the way biblically because I'm sure the Bible says differently when it comes to, how marriages are broken, but you haven't heard from him since January. Are you looking for him? You need him to come back for some for some old time's sake. Girl, girl. So are you going, you say, nah, are you going to, do you have anybody new? Do you think you'll remarry? You think you'll try it again? Honey, because there's a lot of women out here that'll do it over and over and over and over and over. They're looking for that soulmate. Yep, looking for the soulmate. But let me jump back to Dip. How you been doing? Okay, baby said I was gonna respond to her. She says, "You say you don't know. I know, right? Just gotta take it day by day, see what happens. I think for the most part, like what you say, babe? He was making an inclination that I could be selfish, right? Like, is that what you were?
You mean,
I mean,
evil,
I'm evil.
hard to talk to, and it's hard to explain. I don't know. I love you. That's it.
He said, I'm very difficult to talk to. Well, let me explain that, guys. What makes it difficult for me to talk to is because when I'm trying to make a point, my stance is to solely believe in the point that I'm trying to make. And
It didn't make no sense.
I don't like nobody to take my point away from me. So yeah, I get a little
If you're
stubborn
trying to
with
make a
it.
point, if I'm trying to make a point, and she gives me, explains to me reasoning, and points it out that my point that I'm trying to make is flawed or not adequate, then I don't have no problem with it. Correct me, show me, explain to me, the flaws in the point that I'm trying to make. Not just because I don't want nobody to go against my point or try to change my way of thinking or change the point that I'm trying to make. Is it room in there to change the point that you were trying to make? If it is, do it to me. But if it's not taken, not just because I don't want that to happen. You understand that? Well, you understand because I've said that several times to you before.
A trillion times, but that still does not negate the fact of I'm explaining why I'm that away. I'm not trying to make a point about what's right or what's wrong.
But
I'm
when I broke
just
it down, I'm telling you and trying to show you that it's not right to be that way. You shouldn't have a mindset like that.
why. But see, that's the part that makes me
Nobody should.
angry.
Nobody
That's the
should.
part that makes me.
Nobody should. If you're trying to make a point, if you're trying to make a point, if you're trying to explain something to me about something, and what you're trying to explain to me, I listen to it and then I explain to you and break it down to show you the flaws and
No, you explain it to me
to show you the flaws.
on a point that you're trying to make.
No.
You want me to try to see it like
No, break it down with facts. I break it down. I'm a factual guy. I break it down with facts and show you and point out to you play by play, point by point. And just because I guess it seems to you that I'm trying to circumvent the point that you was trying
you
to
do
make.
sometimes.
I don't try. Just like I had a buddy, and he was real smart buddy. He dead now. G, you know him personally.
Mm-hmm.
G was on the genius level, and somebody told G, man, it's like, man, you always right. You always think you're right. G said, I can't help it, man. If you always be wrong, ain't my fault if you always wrong. And he ain't never said nothing that wasn't true when he was having conversations or correcting somebody about something. So for you to take the stance like if I have a point, I'm trying to make a point, and it's clear. I just don't do it just because I don't want your point to be valid.
That's exactly
No,
what
I
feel like I encountered.
You can feel how you want to feel.
Yeah.
But put the facts to it. Do my facts show that your point is not valid? Not because of how I feel or the way he said it, the way you said it. Does the facts show that the point that you were trying to make is not valid? Not because of how you feel. And if I make a point that's not valid and you give me sound reasoning and you can show me and explain to me, and I'll say, you got a point there, which I've said to you a whole lot of times, right?
Yeah, but
All right.
let me use tonight as an example, though, right? Because I told you, and I'm not trying to get back on the subject of this Charlie Kirk, but that's where the subject is coming from. And I told you that he made this one statement based on his statistics that there is over 52% or up to 50, let me change that, up to 52% of black men incarcerated, right? And I all explained to you, and I looked it up, and and I'm like, no, his stat is not accurate on what he's trying to sell to the people out there, right? The actual stats is actually lower than that based on the fact that there is close to 32% of people wrongfully convicted and have been exonerated. So that drops his percentile down very low based on what he was trying to put out as a fact that there are 52% black men incarcerated, when in fact the number is actually pretty much even with white Americans and the black Americans. There's a lot of, you don't think so? You think what's your stats?
Well, the first thing you said was because I told you it was more white people
Correct.
in the United States than black people.
Yep.
And you said that Charlie Kirk said 52%, blah blah blah. And then I said, well, he might have said 52%. And I said, well, in the last 10 years or so, what's happened is I don't think Charlie Kirk said 52%. It's 52% of the population is black. He might have said 52% of the population is people of color.
Okay,
Because
now
with the
pause. And that right there is why you say I am what I am. Because
No.
if I said there's 52%,
No.
if I'm telling you that is that, then what makes you think that I did not do my research to know to
You
read?
just got on two different things. You're not even hearing yourself.
I do hear
Okay,
myself.
stop.
That's why I said pause.
No, let me pause
You
you.
challenged me first off by the percentage that
Let
I've
me
given
stop
you. So that's what makes
let
me do
stop
that.
you. I'm glad they're hearing this because maybe somebody will say, well, Bill, because the first thing you said was that he said, so you got two things going on here, honey. The first thing you said was that Charlie Kirk said, because I said that there's more white people in the United States than black people. And you said, well, Charlie Kirk say it's 52% of black population in the United States, something to that effect. The other part about incarceration didn't come out until later on in the conversation. Now, probably what you had meant.
You didn't hear me.
No, probably what you had meant to say. That came out later. Probably what you had meant to say because if I didn't hear you, what does it matter if I heard you or not? If I made the statement that it's more white people in the United States than black people, and you came back telling me saying something, if that,
And I told
let
you
me
that
finish.
his stats is inaccurate.
I can't get to your point. I can't get to the point if you don't let me finish. And you came back and you told me that what Charlie Kirk says 52%. Now you saying I didn't hear you. Even if I didn't hear you, what you were when you say that, what you mean it is. You didn't mean 52% of the population of the United States. You meant 52% of incarceration. That he was, that talking about 52% of it, people that was incarceration.
Black Americans
And you looked
in
it
the
up, and you
United
looked it up,
States.
and you looked it up, and you looked it up, and you found out that because of people being exonerated, it's actually 37%. I remember the numbers and everything, right? So it doesn't matter if I heard you wrong or not, because the first thing I said was, it's more white people than black people in the United States. Now, whether I heard you at first say incarceration at 52%, what Charlie Kirk said, or I interpreted as Charlie Kirk saying the population of black people in the United States is 52%. It doesn't matter because you're responding to a statement that I made. So why would you respond to the statement that I made talk about something about incarceration? We're talking about the population of the United States in the United States,
correct.
Right? You get it?
Correct.
Okay, so then when you came back and you said that part, but I was explaining to you, he might have said 52%. He might have meant the population. I'm thinking that's what you meant originally. And I'm saying, well, no, not black people. It might, since the influx of the Hispanics with the border crisis, the last 10, 15 years, we might have a number that's not black, it's people of color. I rest my case, Your Honor. That's how I have to break it down to get you to stop and see. Now you say, well, I heard you wrong.
My whole boiler point on that
wrong.
was me just telling you how he's pushing this to make his theory stand out to the populated people on the destruction of black Americans.
What I'm trying to tell
this
you,
is what's missing because all of these black Americans are incarcerated. That's the only point. That's pretty much what I was pointing out to you.
What I'm trying to say to you is whatever point that you were pointing out to me, we're past that part. We're on something else now. Whatever you were trying to point out to me, with the way with the way you responded, and then change your opinion and take from your opinion or turn it around. Now I gave you factual, sound reasoning based on you responding to what I said. Whatever your intentions was for me to understand or making a statement or to expound on what Charlie Kirk did or didn't do, said or didn't say, that's irrelevant at this point. We're talking about
like you saying I try to change your opinion and make it kind of stuff like you said to me in the past. Now I just gave you sound reason how that whole thing went because you originally said Charlie Kirk said the population black people is 52% in the United States, and I said no.
I said no. And this is the reason why I did too. And I told you, this is the reason why his percentage was inaccurate. And I told you because the statistics have it based on his percent that these people are incarcerated
Stop.
and is not.
What does that got to do
You
with?
don't understand
I sure
my point.
don't. Ask
And
them.
I'm trying
Ask them,
to
do they
explain-
understand?
I'm trying to explain
Ask
it
them,
to
do they
you.
understand?
You
What
don't
is-
listen.
Listen. What does incarceration got anything to do with the population of a demographic in a certain area, whether they in jail or on the CTA bus or next door to our house? You count them anyway. So what does it got to do about who's in jail, how many is in jail, and how many been exonerated? Because you count those in jail too. So if I say, when you tell me that Charlie Kirk say black people is 52% of the population in the United States, and I say, hold on, no, babe, maybe with the influx of the Hispanics since the border crisis, maybe people of color, and I don't even believe it's enough of them. I have to look, but I don't believe even with the influx of that it would put the majority, would put us at the majority with the people of color. So what does that got to do with 52% of black people that he supposedly allegedly said 52% of black people are incarcerated, but when you look it up, it's 37% of the people were wrongfully convicted and got exonerated. That ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China based on the first statements that had been made. I shouldn't have to listen. The first statements that had been made. Now ask them, do they understand what I just said?
Yeah,
there?
they understand.
Maybe you need to get it from somewhere else.
No, because you're not understanding what
Ask them.
based on his deliverance of what he put out here, according to his statistic on how a black culture being incarcerated was number one, was one of my points. He was off with that. Number two, he made that he tried to establish that point to also point out the fact that now I'm going somewhere else before you say that because I know I'm going. That is, and it could be. Do I agree with that a little bit? Maybe. I don't know yet. But that could be one of the reasons why the crime rate exists the way it did. There is no marriage or wives or or relationships like that established in the home because he based it off of they're all gone. This is what black people do. They land themselves in jail to do this and to do that and to do that. It was a columbra of a whole bunch of things. Columbra
Don't worry about it.
of things. Conundrum. Thank you. Of things. Of what he was trying to paint out there as his reasons of why these things are happening amongst the black culture because of his statistics of how many black men are away being incarcerated.
Well, I'm not the sharpest tool in the TS center, so maybe that's why I don't understand. Because what we're talking about has nothing to do with anything other than you said, Charlie Kirk said, or I thought I heard you say that Charlie Kirk said that black people is 52% of the population in the United States. And when you know,
I did say incarcerated, because if I did not say incarcerated, then how did I point out to you that the statistics clearly shows that there are almost, the count really is around 37%, and I'm estimating that due to wrongful convictions and men are have been released, exonerated from a crime that they did not commit. Or so how is it that he's still sitting with his percentile at 52%?
That's not the point at all.
That's my point. Listen, that I'm trying to make to you. And that's what I'm saying.
I'm trying to explain to you.
I know, but
you might have said that. I heard you say 52%.
And then I started talking about exoneration, right?
Let me
Did I or did I not?
Let me finish.
Yes, I did.
Not before that point. When you said that, and then I rebutted, I said no. Maybe since the last 10 years, with the influx of Hispanics coming in, the population of people of color might be 52% in the United States. And then you went further to say something else, and then you started talking about the exoneration. So maybe the thing comes in right here. The whole thing right here seems to me to be is that I might didn't hear the part that you said about incarceration at first, originally, when you first said it. So I started responding like you were just speaking generally, not speaking based on the statistics of black people that was incarcerated. So now after I said that, and then you came back, and then you started explaining to me, and I started scratching my head like, what the hell does any that we just talking about got to do something with? Charlie Kirk said 52% of the population is black.
Incarcerated.
So now later, then you went into that. So I'm like, okay, she's on two issues, or is this the same issue and I just misinterpreted? It's obvious that I misinterpreted or did not hear, or you said the wrong way what you actually meant. Mm-hmm. So that's where the divide comes in at right there. But now when we debating this point, you keep going back to that.
Because that's what my point was, and I know I said it. So
right.
But so can you understand my defensive argument, definitive argument against you? Because you are lacking my entire point that I was trying to make to you. You either didn't hear it or it wasn't clear enough for you.
So that's the part.
Can you understand why I go to the defense level?
No, that's why right there when you see that I didn't hear it, or I'm arguing, and my argument is not really, because that argument there shouldn't really, it should have thrown you off when I said that. You should have said, like I said, what the fuck the price of tea China got to do with the population of the United States? Why is he talking about the population of the United States? My statement to him was talking about the population in the penitentiaries. The same thing I said. What the hell is she telling me about the population in the penitentiary?
Like I said.
Because I interpreted it as she told me that Charlie Kirk said the population in the United States. You get it? So right there was the stop.
Like I said.
I'd like to know their opinion on that conversation.
So they just listening right now. They're not gonna.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we through talking. I'd like to know now.
Yeah. No, they're not
talking. I wonder if you gonna tell me the truth.
No, I will. They're not talking. They just listening right now.
So
they probably over there scratching their head like Jesus.
Let them talk now.
They like, what the hell?
Ain't know what the hell. It was a good debate, and that's why I had to stop you to show you. That's where the problem came in at. But it's hard for me to get you to understand and see things like that. Now you finna say the same thing over again.
No, I'm not. I'm finna be done with it.
You got a habit of doing that.
Cleo say exactly. I'm just listening.
Right. I wonder if she understands.
So what you just got, Cleo, is not enough clarity when we have these discussions.
And the way you say things,
so, and the way that I say, he is very much more conservative when he speaks. Okay, he's very conservative. Me, I am not. So that's another challenge, that we kind of have, he's a bookworm. He's a thesaurus. He's and I wasn't. So there's some challenges there, that I have, but I also try to get him to, this is what I get when I am speaking amongst people that is highly intelligent and intellect, right? I don't know about you, Cleo, but I feel like this. You should be able to detect, because of your level of intellect, right? And deliverance of how you do things. You should be able to detect and understand also what the person is trying to say to you. This is like, because you're smart, like you're at that level. Like, I shouldn't have to use every verb and adjective or noun to break down everything that I'm saying in totality, right? Like you can type something in the chat, Cleo, on a discussion that we're having in the chat room, right? And you don't have to be perfectly clear for me. I can decipher out of your sentence 3 or 4 words and know exactly what you're trying to talk about. I can do that. On the other hand, his intellect will not allow him to do so. You literally have to have every single word, pitch and tone, um, right there for him to calculate what you're saying and to be able to expound off of it. Well, yeah, that's true too. That's true too. But like I say, when it comes, and we've been like this for years, though, right? But I think that this is where the communication is just kind of weak at it, right? Because I do be trying. I have a point to make, and when I'm making my point, I'm delivering it based on what I have researched on, what I have looked up, and I know everything that you look up and have a research that you researched on may not be 100% truthful, right? For the most part, it's pretty much close to it, right? So when I try to bring my point to him in a fair discussion or whatever, it seems to be like it's every other word of what I'm saying that he catches. So now what he thought that what I was saying, and he brings his argument back to me, not an argument in a bad way. I'm just saying his argument back to me. I be sitting over like, what the hell? What are you talking about? Okay, so now that I'm lost with his response about the topic that I decide for us to have a discussion on, right? Because I'm lost as hell. I'm like, what? So, and then he'll say the things that he said, right? So then I'm like, no, like that's not right. No, right? And that's because, like now, he didn't listen to my entire story. Like you didn't hear it all. And I did. I clearly said that 52% of black men being incarcerated, and I came back and I said that the statistics also have it that that number is inaccurate due to the fact that there are a lot of black men that have been wrongfully convicted of crimes that they are now becoming exonerated from these crimes, which means that that lowers the statistical number that Charlie Kirk puts out. It's not 52%. Does it go? It has went down dramatically due to people, being exonerated and or let's just say doing their time and getting up out of there. So that's what my point was. And he just, I guess, did not hear my point clear enough. I don't know. And that's just where, like, we be in here like, what? I'm like, I did say that. He's like, you didn't say that. I'm like, yes, I did say that. So when he said that, well, no, and you get selfish with your, and you say this, and well, yeah, I get loud or whatever because I know what I said. And I ain't fucking crazy at all. So, yes, I will not allow for somebody to make me think that I didn't say this when I know this is what I said and not take the fault for not saying, oh, well, oh my, I didn't hear you, instead of just saying that. But don't turn my point. Don't twist my point and then or take some of my words and exemplify them from what I said, and then you create your response behind it, and then now you right. No, I know. I'd be over there like, no, that's not what we're finna do. No. So had it not been exoneration included in my point, based on wrongfully black men that has proved their case to be based on wrongfully convicted, then I couldn't argue with him because we'd have been talking about 52% in general, which I wasn't. And he knew that. So you mean to tell me that I'm just going to say, well, oh, well, Charlie Kirk says that there is 52% of black men in United States of America, that the stats is 52%, and I'm on period? No, I did not. I gave the reason behind that. I gave an additional point to that. I delivered him the new statistics on a percentile scale of what would be more accurate than the percentile that Charlie Kirk put out there. That's what my point was. But he says, oh, I'm like, so then after that, girl, I'm like, let me go and get me a wine cooler or some Snoop Dogg and go lay my butt down. That's what I do. But it's because of just you know, it's one thing about people when you are having that anxious moment to deliver your answer because you can't wait to get in. Those people have a little bit of lack of hearing. So they only hearing bits and pieces and whatever because they done already developed their response to jump right on in. And so now you didn't clearly hear what I said. So now, okay, go on. But then once those people get a chance to jump right in, it'll turn out to make what you said wrong. And I'm like, what? No, never that. I don't know. Well, it's what is it? What time is it? 8:30. Time for me to get prepared for another day. So, Cleo, thanks for hanging out with me, girl. Thanks for hanging out with me, so. And I wish you nothing but the best, honey. Hope you find another true love. Do it all over again. I'll never tell nobody to not never, get married. Get married, girl. Do you. That's what I tell people. Do what makes you happy. Because it's so important to just be happy. But I don't know. I think after today, I have watched entirely enough of the Charlie Kirk stuff. So RIP. And, may their lives over there continue to bliss to whichever way that they are choosing to go. I don't know. But I'm willing to bet you, though, Cleo, had those 52% of incarcerated people got out and needed a second chance at life as far as employment and stuff like that, they ain't gonna get it. And I had a message too for Kamala, since they said that Trump has signed the papers and stuff for Kamala Harris to for them to cease her Secret Service protection. You know what I think? This is just me, y'all, because I was sitting over here like, Kamala, all of these young black men, right, that's in all these little different states, right, are licensed to carry. They just need a little bit of guidance or whatever as far in the safety program or the security program and things like that. You got enough money. And you're independent now, right, for right now. Like, what's wrong with these people going out here saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to start this program. And you over there, I want you and I want you. You got to pass a physical fitness test and blah, 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 and get your background checked. Listen, like Charlie Kirk said, right? They ain't got to go to college. College is a scam. So go over there, Kamala, and get you some of them, not uppity upscale, but you can go get you 4, 5 of them from out the hood. Go get you 4, 5 of them out the hood and put them on your side and have them out there protecting you. And you're going to have to fly them around and get them a car and y'all going to have to build trust up. But guess what? They get to have a freaking opportunity. They got to give them an opportunity. I don't care what nobody says at this point, though, Miss Brown. When I watched that ceremony, it was 89.9% white people. Okay. Now, I get it that it may have been out of, I don't know, Obama's control. I don't know how. I can't see why, but if you go back and you look at Obama campaigning team and things of sort, right? And people that was up, baby, that why was the percentage for those people like that was high with white people? Was he forbidden to bring in a team of, 50-50 blacks, college students or whatever they come in, intern people or whatever? Where were these? Where were the young kids that they talk about, bringing, into a new atmosphere, new challenges and things like that, right? Nothing. If you go and you look now, I'm sorry, at the whole Donald Trump administration and everything. What is it, about three, 4 blacks? That's where they at. It's not that many of them because I sure can't see them. It's same thing. If you go to the Congress, right, and you're looking at all of your legislators and things like that, other than Jasmine Crockett and then what's that other lady named, that Owen lady, and there's one more, right? Who do you see sitting in there at the round tables? Who do you see sitting in there? So my thing is when will all of that change? Just a little bit, a little bit at a time, because they say you gotta take baby steps, right? But I don't see no black people in there.
You used to didn't see none. Now you see some. It's changed.
So what? It's what, 1,000 to
Yeah,
every.
well, I mean, the disparage is great, but it's changing. It has changed, and it's going to continue to change. And I told you what's going to be the defining point. The defining point is going to be the generations that's coming up now and the mixed generations with the mulatto kids. That's what's going to make the big difference.
Okay.
Mulatto
Well,
kids.
I guess we'll hope to be around to see it. What is that, about another 20, 30 years?
Have you ever heard of a black senator, a black congressman, a black Supreme Court judge?
Well, I see that.
So
I'm
it's changed. They're going to change.
Yeah, I know that's happening in the demographic, the states. I'm talking about up there in Congress.
That's what I just said. Black senators, black congressmen, black
Well, when you
Supreme
talk
Court
about the
justice.
mayors and
That's changing too. You got more black males than you ever had. You even got female males now.
yeah, I
All of it's
guess.
changing. Is it changing fast enough?
Yeah.
We could say no to that, especially if you're on this side. But is it changing? Yes.
I still they're gonna be limited to certain
Only
things.
so long.
Yeah.
Let them keep on with these mulatto kids, making these mixed races. That's what's going to be the defining point.
Yeah, it's okay. Well, that's another topic for a different day. Y'all know what, ladies? Thanks for joining. I will see y'all soon. Y'all have a great night. Hit the like button, share the channel. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, you guys, if you haven't already done so. I hate that we had a troll come in here earlier with that crap, because it takes me off of my square and I've got to bring myself back. So, y'all, I enjoyed Casey coming over, expressing what she wanted to express tonight. So I appreciate that. Yo, you got to make sure you come back, girl. So have that notification bell on. And you can join. Come on and join me, girl, in these wonderful conversations with me. So talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.